Imagine waking up one morning in 1692, in the quiet Puritan town of Salem, Massachusetts. Life is already harsh, bitter cold winters, grueling workdays, and the ever-present fear of damnation. But suddenly, whispers begin to spread. People start looking at their neighbors with suspicion, and then at you. Without warning, you're dragged from your home, accused of consorting with the devil. Your innocence? Doesn't matter. Your life? No longer your own. Welcome to the Salem Witch Trials, where logic took a back seat, paranoia ran rampant, and innocence was forever lost. Before we dive deep into why it absolutely sucked to be caught in this madness, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into history's most chilling moments. Ready? Let's uncover the dark truths of Salem. First, let's set the stage. Salem Village in 1692 wasn't the quaint little town you might imagine. It was a rigid Puritan community, heavily influenced by religion. Every decision was guided by the belief that God was watching, and so was the devil. Tensions were already high. There were land disputes, political struggles, and a looming fear of Native American attacks. Oh, and did I mention they were living in constant paranoia about sin and eternal damnation? People believed that witches were real, and not just curses and cauldrons witches, but actual servants of Satan who could destroy crops, kill livestock, and corrupt souls. It wasn't just folklore. It was a deeply ingrained reality for them. It all started with a group of young girls, Betty Paris, Abigail Williams, and a few others. They began exhibiting strange behaviors, convulsions, screaming fits, barking like dogs. The villagers? They weren't reaching for medical books, they reached for superstition. Doctors declared the girls were bewitched, and soon, the accusations began. The first targets? Outsiders and vulnerable women like Tituba, a Caribbean slave, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, a widow who didn't fit into Salem's strict mold. Their trials were built on a mix of hearsay, dreams, and spectral evidence, meaning, if someone claimed they saw your ghostly figure tormenting them, you were as good as guilty. So, what happened if you were accused of witchcraft? Spoiler, it was not a fair trial. You'd be imprisoned in squalor, chained to prevent your spirit from escaping. The court relied on flimsy evidence, spectral accusations, bizarre tests like forcing you to recite the Lord's Prayer perfectly, and even the infamous swimming test, where drowning proved innocence. If you confessed, you might be spared execution, but your reputation and life was over. Refuse to confess? You'd likely end up at Gallows Hill. Oh, and if you think being a man or a child made you safe, think again. More than 150 people were accused, ranging from toddlers to octogenarians. The Salem Witch Trials quickly became a frenzy. Families turned on one another, neighbors accused neighbors, and fear silenced reason. Even animals weren't spared. 2 dogs were executed for being agents of the devil. The more people were accused, the harder it was to stop. Why? Because fear became the driving force. If you spoke out against the trials, you risked being accused yourself. And for the accused, there was no way to prove your innocence. Imagine knowing your fate was sealed the moment your name was spoken. The trials finally ended in 1693 when public opinion began to shift. The governor of Massachusetts, whose own wife was accused, stepped in and disbanded the court. But the damage was done. 19 people were hanged, 1 was pressed to death, and countless others had their lives shattered. Families were left in ruins, and Salem's legacy was forever tainted by paranoia and injustice. The events of 1692 serve as a grim reminder of how fear can turn communities against one another and how innocence, once lost, is nearly impossible to reclaim. Even now, the Salem Witch Trials stand as a chilling cautionary tale of the dangers of hysteria, false accusations, and the loss of critical thinking. What do you think? Could something like the Salem Witch Trials happen again in modern times? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends who love history as much as you do. Thanks for watching, And we'll see you next time on Hushed Histories, where we bring the past to life in ways you never imagined.